Mousetrap Farm by Martin Malone. Read by Liam Quinlivan. Captain Lawrence. He talks a lot of rubbish, but I know that's because he's nervous and afraid. He has a baby son back home in Dublin, whom he's most likely never going to see, except perhaps in a photograph, or in his mind's eye as he reads his wife's description of him in a letter, detailing the little person they made together. Gerald, his son's name is, the same as his father's. Nice feeling, I suppose, to think a part of you lives on. But who'd want to bring a human being into the world? For him to end up in this sort of quagmire, this shell-battered place, where if the rations don't give you the shits, fear will. I envy the captain nothing. Not his wife, who I've heard is very pretty, nor his having a son, money, and a big fancy house. In fact, I think he might be rather envious of me. Me who has nothing, never had anything, and has got nothing to lose. Or to be more precise, no one to leave behind. I should have stayed on the farm with the other chaps, skivvying all day long, for a mean farmer is a mile distant from this hell. It's quiet this May afternoon. Some shelling off to the distance, not near Ypres, so not near us. This farmhouse we're at has a moat, and around it are just plain fields, making us a proper easy target for the Jerrys. Trenches, walls of earth hem us in, serve as a pen for our souls. This farmhouse sticking out of the ground like red to a bull the Brits used to call Shell-Trap Farm. But Captain Lawrence said our name was better, that anything we Dublin Fusiliers did was better than what a Tommy could do. Mousetrap. Does he mean we're the bait? Talks rot, he does, like I said. The kitchen maid, Annie. I think now she might have liked me. In the morning when I was leaving for the barracks, she put a sprig of lavender into my shirt pocket and closed the button. I take it out sometimes from between the pages of my little notebook. It still holds its colour, but its scent is gone, and it's dry and brittle. A skeleton. As a boy, I used to eat flowers. Yellow petals, my favourite. Back home, I loved the morning air, its freshness, before the day took hold. Those were perfect minutes, but perfect isn't lasting. One of the men, Alan, died last week. He was shot through the eye by a Jerry after he put his head above the parapet just to fetch a sight of poppies swaying in the breeze. I wrote to Annie, but I can't get my head to sit the words properly on the page. Can't get it to say what's in my heart. I think this is because I'm fearful of her not replying. Or perhaps it's because she might well do. So the letter rests. Captain Lawrence has a way of telling you what he thinks of you without coming right out with it. There is a silent language to his lips, their economical movement, as though he's restraining them, like he would the reins of his grey charge. He will not allow them full flow in case other things spill. Most likely he thinks he is being strong, but I sometimes think that our strengths can sometimes be our weaknesses. I close my eyes and imagine that I'm edging close to a river. The breathing of the water is getting louder. The flowing comes as a slow haunting, soothing, distracting. It is the silence that draws my eyelids open, the absence of evening birdsong. There is no artillery fire, no sound of death. It's the noise of nothingness, a noise of waiting. It's so quiet that I think if I strained my ears, I could probably hear not just the beating of my heart, but the flow of my blood. Captain Lawrence lives close to the Wright farm where I once worked. We know each other to see, but had never spoken till we met in this trench when his eyes washed over me. My face was not a prompt for him to think of Clane. Instead, it enhanced the picture as the sight of him did for me. I saw home a little more clearly. How was that, I asked myself. We're going back to the rear tomorrow, he says. Sir, I say. It's for certain, he says on a chuckle. For a week. That would be great, sir. Yes, it would. His words are cut short by a burst of artillery fire, but the shells aren't falling anywhere near our lines. So we just hear the booms, the thuds, and the flying sprays of rubble and shrapnel. My helmet has saved my skull more than once. It carries a dent. Silence. They're way off the mark, eh? Captain Lawrence says with a deep tremor. Sir? I do not say what I think, that Jerry is merely adjusting his aim. The sergeant returns. I can smell whiskey, and I'm sure that the captain does too. Shall we proceed, sir? He says. Keep alert. Good man, Lawrence says. He taps his baton against his thigh, follows the sergeant. In an hour's time, my relief will arrive to take his turn for watch. I want to sleep now, for I know when I have time to sleep that I will not. Instead, I'll lie awake in my bunk, wide-eyed, chasing thought after thought to no end, never catching an answer, never able to hold on to a good memory for too long. I smell something, and I think of my sprig of lavender. It's a faint smell, slightly tingling the edge of my nostrils. Curious, I climb 2 steps on the ladder, bring my periscope sight above the parapet. I see a wide belt of yellowy green cloud, denser than the night, like fog, but darker, approaching. I am not sure what to do. My skin is beginning to itch. My throat is burning. My eyes sting. I call out, and others too. It's a chorus reaching for a crescendo. It feels as though someone has spooned hot sand down my throat, rubbed my eyeballs with sandpaper. There's a difficulty in breathing. It's then I run. I run, not wanting to die like this. They tell me at the dressing station that I am one of the lucky ones. I am blind, and I wheeze like an old man on his last few breaths. I am old, made so too young. The nurse is kind-spoken and cheery, but she knows what I am experiencing, which is the closing of my throat. I am drowning slowly from the poison gas. Words form in my mind but cannot mature. I want to ask her for my sprig of lavender, but my hands are too blistered to hold it. For the letter in my tunic pocket not to be posted, I want there to be no one to tell. But I do hope she will sometimes smile.